Selamat siang! My name is Paxton. The world is awesome! I'm here to help you know and care more about the world beyond the USA. Today's date is August 1st, 2021. Our first headline is the 2021 Olympics have started in Tokyo. As of this recording, the countries that have the most gold medals are China and Japan, with 15 gold medals each. One cool thing. Did you know that Japan invented the Olympic pictograms in 1964? And one interesting fact about this year's Olympics is that it's the first time that the tragedy of 1972, when Israeli athletes died, has been mentioned during the opening ceremony. And one more interesting thing to share is that the event opened with the music of Koichi Sugiyama. He's famous for the music from the game Dragon Quest, but also famous for being homophobic and ultra-conservative. We're looking forward to watching the Olympics. Just 1 week until they're over! Our second headline is some bad news in the United Kingdom last week. First, Liverpool, the city most famous perhaps for being the home of the Beatles, is no longer a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This rarely happens. It means it is no longer recognized as a protected site. Why? Too much development of fancy buildings on the waterfront. The second bit of bad news, there's a problem with the Northern Ireland Protocol. It basically rules how to handle Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom, and Ireland, which is not, in terms of Brexit. Brexit, you might remember, is the short way to describe the United Kingdom leaving the European Union, or the EU. Kind of like, let's say, if a state in the US decided to be its own country. This is causing all kinds of problems for the piece of land on the island of Ireland called Northern Ireland, which is now not in the EU, while most of the island of Ireland is in the EU. Our third headline is, around 100 kidnapped women and children were rescued in Nigeria. Ever seen Disney's The Rescuers? It's a story about a little girl who was kidnapped and saved by mice. This is a real-life rescuer story. Our fourth headline is, Canada and Indonesia are in a kind of battle for an island of gold. The Baru Gold Corporation from Canada is allowed to mine half of Sangihe Island for gold. The problem? The island has thousands of ancient trees which are home to many endemic birds. This kind of sounds like the Lorax, no? Our fifth headline is, a Singaporean ship crashed near Sri Lanka and is hurting a lot of wildlife. The Express Pearl caught fire in the middle of May. 80 tons of plastic pellets were released into the ocean. 80 tons weighs about the same as about 50 cars. Turtles and fish are dying. And our question of the day is, only one of the following items about the Tokyo Olympic Games is true. Which one? Is it A, it is the first Olympics to talk about the events of Munich in 1972 during the opening ceremony? B, it is the first Olympics to have the music of Richard Wagner? Or C, it is the first Olympics to use pictograms? And the answer is A! The Tokyo Olympic Games is the first Olympics to talk about the events of Munich in 1972 during its opening ceremony. Thanks for listening to World Kidlines with Paxton. There's lots more news for kids done differently at LNE.news. We are also on YouTube and major podcasting platforms. May your sweetness shine and your colors glow! Sources for today's Kidlines include the New York Times, the BBC, the Daily Beast, and CNN.